Hey, Dr. Ermacher here. Just wanted to, touch on a question that I was thinking about, and that comes down to why do we do it? And anytime you're doing anything, that's something you have to ask yourself. So why am I doing this? And if you really take the time to answer it, obviously you're going to figure it out, but you're going to be able to wrap your mind around the concept, and then it's going to make it easier to get that done. So let me explain this a little bit. Yesterday, I told you that successful doctors they actually do what unsuccessful doctors don't do. Now, it's not that some of these unsuccessful doctors don't know that they should be doing anything else. And again, it's not always that the successful doctors like to do it or because it's fun. I mean, there's lots of stuff that I don't like to do. But if it's an effective strategy, I do it anyway, or two, a lot of the times I outsource it to someone else because I don't like to do it. Because basically you can either do something yourself or you can pay someone else to do it for you. But ultimately it comes down to you absolutely must get it done. It doesn't matter which way. So the successful doctors, they just do it because they know the why they are doing it. And really it usually comes down to knowing what that end result is for them as well, as far as that why. It's not the short term, but it's usually the end result once they get that. So as far as this why goes, you've got in your practice, you really have three ways that you can make more money with it. Number one, more new patients. Now, probably, and I shouldn't even say probably, 100% of the time, number one thing that any doctor thinks about, it's the biggest thing on their radar, if I can just get more new patients. Now, rarely is it the least expensive, rarely is it the easiest, rarely is it the most effective or the fastest way to add revenue to your practice and your bottom line. But often, again, it's the strategy that most doctors think about that they need to do to grow their practice. Now, for example, if I only had one headline to choose from to attract new doctors, to any of my services, it would be just a headline that probably says, hey doc, you want more new patients? Now, with that headline alone, I'd probably do just fine, because that's enough to attract those doctors. But there's more to it as far as growing your practice. Number two thing, increase each transaction size. And that's one of those things I get that shock factor back is doctors get really uncomfortable when we talk about this one because, you're thinking, gosh, you want me to raise my prices? My patients already, tell me it's too expensive or blah, blah, blah. You're afraid of it. So in short, yeah, you probably should raise your fees. Most doctors undercharge anyway, and I'm going to be the one that's tell you that you're worth more than what you're charging. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to charge for your fees. But again, it's not just about raising your fees. It also includes selling additional services and products when you already have a patient in the office. So it doesn't just have to be about raising your fees. It's about increasing the sale for that. And then the number three thing is increasing the frequency of purchase. Now, this one greatly, greatly underutilized and understood for that matter. So it's okay if your patients, and again, are also customers. Don't just think of them as patients, but customers. And again, not just during their regular visit as a customer, but also in between visits. And then with that, second component here is getting your patient to return on time. That's increasing that frequency. So if they go longer and longer in between visits, then obviously you're losing that frequency and you're losing revenue. So get them to show up on time, and obviously your revenue is going to go up. You see the difference there. If they wait 3 months, depending on what type of doc it is, and it's going to go this far. If for my eye docs, if they go 15, 16 months versus 12 months, obviously a huge difference. So as we take a look at some of these moving on, when we get into the individual strategies, the question you need to ask yourself is, will this strategy help me accomplish one of those 3 practice revenue goals that we just talked about? And, if they don't, then, you got to rethink them. But don't worry. When I give you the strategies as well, I'm going to let you know which of those goals that you're shooting for. And again, sometimes you'll be affected more than one, and sometimes you're going to hit all three. So just think about that question. Why am I doing it? How's that affecting me? Thanks.